Guys, so this is our last video in terms of questions. We are gonna have other videos in the placement series, in the interview preparation series, but this is our last video in terms of the questions. This is the seventh question, and the question that we are looking at today in our placement interview preparation series PIPS is success and failures. So we covered a question, I think, in the third video that was about your strengths and weaknesses, and in that video I will put a link to that video in the description, and in that video we referred how strengths and weaknesses are related to successes and failures, because strengths and weaknesses are characteristics of a personality, and these characteristics leads to events happening in your life, and these events eventually become the successes and the failures. These are events, so it is quite related to that answer. You can merge those two answers, I told you in that video as well, but merge it at your own peril. Only merge it if you are confident that you can pull it off. Otherwise, keep these two questions separate. Interviewer may ask you, may not, but keep these two separate. Okay, this is indeed a famous question, or in fact all these 7 questions are famous questions. So yes, please prepare for that. Before diving deeper into the question, I would like to mention a little bit about PrepLeaf as always. So we offer free aptitude practice. This free aptitude practice is for everyone for free, of course. Then we offer placement preparation in the form of subscription based courses. These are courses, small courses, about 8-week long courses, 10-week long courses that help you prepare for role-based prep, for example data analyst, finance, etc. And these are very mentor driven courses. These are highly mentor focused courses that help you prepare for the job by giving you industry relevant projects and the skills needed for the job. We help you with everything, interview, resume, everything is there, and we have courses for that as well. So that is all about the courses. And then we have a postpaid program for users who don't want to pay up front and only want to pay after they get a job. So we have a postpaid program for that as well. Enough about PrepLeaf, let's move on to the question. And before answering the question, again I would like to focus as always on the alternatives as to what alternative questions suffice for the same answer. So tell us one time you succeeded or failed. I think it's the same question said in a different language, but another very famous version of this question, this lightning sign denotes all the famous questions. So this lightning sign denotes that this is a very famous one, and this is your biggest success and failure. So generally when they are asking you about your success and failure, you have to tell your biggest success and the weakest failure. Okay, do not go for the biggest failure. I mean, that's always a disaster. Everybody knows that whenever you effed up the most, that is the one time that you shouldn't mention to anyone. So do not go bonkers with the failure, but yes, go bonkers with the success. Why this question? Again, this question, as the other question, strengths and weaknesses, is about gauging the person. Like, what constitutes success for you? What is failure to you? How do you rate success and failure? What is your definition of it? It's about learning from your mistakes. If you have committed a failure, you must have improved it somehow. You must have make reparations. You have made some, you would have made up somehow, right? So how do you make up? How do you learn from your mistakes? How do you correct your mistakes? And most of all, do you accept your mistakes? And this is a very common problem with people. You know, psychologically, everybody wants to believe that they're right. You're a human, you know, you don't want to admit every day in every decision of your life that you're wrong. So deep down within, you choose to believe that you're right in most of the things that you do. But you have to have a willingness to accept your mistakes, and that's very important, that you are able to have feedback, you are able to incorporate feedback in your work process, and you're able to improve iteratively. And that's a very, very important skill in corporate world, in MNCs, and in any job as such. If you're not willing to accept your mistakes, I don't think there is any room for improvement in your work. And of course, you're not born with that knowledge. You don't know everything. So you have to have a process in which you accept mistakes and you commit to correcting those. And then how you act successful attitude. Many people are very over the top with their successes. Like, you know, they rub it in your face. They're very bold. They're very proud. They're very egoistic about your successes. Are you a person like that? So that gives you a gauge. When a person is talking about their success, the way they talk about it tells a lot about the person. So it's just an overall judgment of your personality, this question. So it's a very subjective question, and you can make it very creative. These as subjective a question, as creative as you can be. So think of stories, think of instances from your life that have constituted for a success or a failure. And let's come to that, like how to answer this question, like what points to include. And since there are two parts to the question, so first we'll look at success. So go for a major win. Don't go for a minor win. Go for a major win. Like I helped my tech fest organize an event that had a footfall of 10,000 people. You know, and I was in the core team. That's a big success. Talk about your big successes. And now the argument comes from everyone that, okay, I haven't done anything so impressive in my college. What am I supposed to say? You must have done something. It can be a personal achievement as well, but it's not a personal life achievement, but it's more of a professional setup that you're preparing yourself for. So your personal development for that in itself can count. So go for a major win. Highlight your skills like networking, resourcefulness, and jugaad. Jugaad is something that they really appreciate. Out of the box thinking, they say. Innovation. Do you have that? Can you think out of the box? When your resources are handful, can you make the most out of everything? Can you capitalize on your strengths? All that comes here. You have to highlight that. You have to show that you have that. And then, even while you're doing it, keep it professional. And go for a story. And a story is always structured in a specific manner. There is always a problem, then there comes a question like why did the problem exist, what do you do about it, and then there comes a part where you solve the problem, and that becomes the successful part. So there must be, I am so sorry, the slide flipped. Yes, so the struggle, how did you overcome it, and that itself constitutes for success. So go for a story like this. Think of a time when you were stuck, how did you overcome it, and that will constitute success for you. Similarly, actually not similarly, but let's go to the flip side, the failure. Pick a minor incident. Don't pick a very, very strong incident in which, you know, you critically failed a task. For example, if I'm a nurse and I like pumped some air into someone's veins, I don't think I can suffice for another that mention in my next nursing job. I don't think I should say that as a nurse. Nobody should say that as a nurse, that I took a life almost. So pick a minor incident that yes, I dropped some important blood sample someday, and that I think I could have been careful with my hands. So a minor incident, pick something like that. Explain what happened. Explain what happened as in explain the story. Again, this goes back to the storytelling, to the narrative. Stories stick. People remember stories. So tell a story. Tell a convincing story. Tell a short story. Tell a problem that you faced, something that you effed up, and then how did you go about correcting it? How did you come out of it? What did you learn? Show that you won't repeat it, that you have corrected your behavior, you have worked on yourself so as to not to repeat the same thing. And these are important things. These are important parts of your personality that you should have for when you are opting for a job like this. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm having difficulties flipping the slides. Yes, here we go. So keynotes, before we move on, before we go to the sample answers, what are the do's and don'ts for this particular question? So do's, talk positively about your strengths. Talk positively about your weaknesses as well, but don't talk enthusiastically about your weakness, or don't talk enthusiastically about your failure. I'm sorry, I keep saying strength and weakness. I wanted to say S for success, not strength. So successes and failures. So when you're talking about your successes and failures, talk positively about your strength. Talk positively about your failure, that you came out of it. But don't be enthusiastic about your own mistake. That, okay, I am so happy that I committed this mistake. Oh, no, you can't be. Please go back to it and think about it. You should have that sense of, you know, a bit, I would say, remorse, a bit of regret that yes, I committed this mistake, but I'm strong enough to come out of it. You have to show strength, you have to show grit, you have to show character. You don't have to show excitement about your own failure, okay? So, and tell a story. As I said repeatedly, tell a story. Be specific as in why did it fail? Why did it succeed? What happened? What specific part of your preparation was successful? What specific problem did you solve that led to your success? So be specific. Don't be vague that, okay, I just did very well in my college, that would be success. No, I did well in my college as compared to these many students because I had this much CPI, or I outnumbered these many students, or my department rank was 1 out of these many students. My department rank was 1. So your department had 10 students. Your department had 3 students and your department rank was 1. What do I know? So be specific, be thorough with your numbers, cross check. Discuss your answers with your friends. Is the information being conveyed in the right manner, the way you want it to be conveyed? And only work related successes and failures. No personal successes, no personal failures. Yes, personal development based that leads to your job. Yes, that might be the case, but no personal stories like, I came out of a breakup and that was a success for me. While that may be a success for many, it doesn't constitute as a success or a failure answer for your interview prep. Don't dive into too much detail. Yes, details are important. DR1 in a batch of 80 people out of 600 students of MSc branch. Not so much required. Department rank 1 out of 30 people. You must have mentioned in your department in the education section, so they already have that info. So don't dive too much into detail. Go on about how you spotted it. They are not interested in the process of how you spotted an error and how you fixed it, or how you spotted your success, or etc. Just don't go into the process of spotting it, but actually the process of winning it or failing it. Sound too negative? Yes, you have to talk about your failure, but you don't have to talk in a depressed manner or in a very downtrodden manner, that you are talking in a manner that almost puts them off, like, okay, this person is too low on motivation, I can't hire him. So don't talk like that. Sound enthusiastic about your failure. As I said before, don't sound too enthusiastic about your failure. It's a failure. It should seem like you regret it. At some point you did a mistake and it's about a mistake, okay? So that, and don't make excuses. This is an important one. Sometimes people, what they do is they'll say that I couldn't deliver something on time because they send the mail late and I realized I could have asked them to send a mail sooner. It's not about their mail. It's about your vigilance. It's about you, that a report was to be delivered on time and you were not vigilant enough that the mail hasn't reached you yet. Okay, so it's not about them. It takes two to tango. If they committed a mistake, you also committed a mistake. Accept your faults rather than pointing out others. And that's a very bad thing to do. So never do that in the interviews. Don't pick a major mess. Don't, as I said, if you're a nurse and if you pumped air in somebody's injection, please don't say that. Yes, I dropped a blood sample can qualify, but please, not pumping injection in veins. Air in veins. Don't blame others, as I said. Don't make excuses, don't blame others. So these are some do's and don'ts. Now we are going to go to some sample answers as always. And I will tell you, I will first read the answers and I will tell you what's good about these answers and what's bad about them. So answer 1. So in 2017 Tech Fest IIT Bombay, in a team of 5, we competed with 30 other teams. Podium finish as in top 3 finish. All the rapid learning pressure and the release of it was a well-tasted success. A very good answer. 30 teams, we were a team of 5. I was not the alone doing it. I did a podium finish, doesn't matter, top 3. But we outnumbered 27 people. We outnumbered 27 teams. And why was it a well-tasted success? It is already mentioned here. It's a very good answer for a for a success. Then a failure. I once was working with an SME. Now this is, I'll tell what's good about this answer. Let me first read it. So I once was working for an SME and had promised to deliver a report in 7 days. But eventually it took me 9 days. Looking back, I realized I could have asked for more time. This is a very good example of how you constitute a failure. You critically failed just an SME. Maybe it would have mattered. I don't know what the size of the report was, but yes, you didn't deliver on time. That's a bad thing, yes. But you learned from your mistake. What did you learn? That I could have been more conservative while asking for more time. It's like accepting your fault, then correcting it, and literally accepting your mistake. And that's a very good quality to have. Why I also like this answer is that it shows that you have already worked with an SME and you were delivering reports to them. That shows that you have ventured on your own to create business, to create value. And that itself shows the highlights of your work. But at the same time, it impresses me, but fails me, but impresses me again. It's a high, it's a low, and it's a high. That's how your answers should be when you're answering failures. Let's go to the second answer. Success. We had to submit our BTech thesis. The deadline was preponed. The deadline was preponed because of the pandemic. While I was ahead of the deadlines, my Robocon team was not. I helped them finish and we all made it. That's a success because my team succeeded with me. I constitute my success with my team. How heartening is that for a manager to see that you only see yourself successful when your team is successful. And that's something that I really want to see in my teammate. You see there what qualities are being portrayed here. So, and then a failure. I reported some numbers wrongly in my report during my internship. then again it shows that you did an error in your work, so it also refers to your work. And then again it goes on talking about how you failed. So realization came after I had sent it across to the client, that I came out clean. So I realized that I had punched in some wrong numbers. I came out clean to my manager, but for my employer's reputation, except for my employer's reputation, nothing was damaged. I have updated my QC, my quality check process since then. So again, it shows that you have a work ethic, that you were working in a client facing industry, you failed in delivering a report because you punched in some wrong numbers, but then you came out clean and you developed a process, you developed a system to overcome a systemic mistake, a habitual mistake that you might commit in the future as well. You work on it like you should professionally. You have a process to your bad habits, and that's always very good, that you go about correcting your bad habits strategically, like you should. Psychologically, you surrender yourself by having a process, a system in place, and that's a very good quality to have. So again, these are my two favorite answers, and you can have something like that on the likes of this. That's all for the answers. Before signing off, I would like to bring your attention to some of the links that we have, some of the webinars that we have hosted in the past on YouTube. These webinars cover general placement preparation, role-based placement preparation for quant, product, finance roles. We might have some more in future. Please like, share, subscribe for that. Skill building, basic skills that are very easy to acquire and are very important for the interviews. These three are super important skills. SQL, you will take 3 hours to learn, but you know there'll always be an interview question if you are sitting for an analyst role. Similarly for Excel, a very important skill to master. So very important skills. We have free webinars on those. Then HR interviews. Except for these videos, we also already have an IIM alumni taking an HR interview session for you guys, and he covers extensively many more questions in that. So please go check out that. And of course, for interviews you need puzzles, so we have our co-founders video playlist of 7 most asked puzzles in the interview. All this will help you a lot. This is just free content for you to avail. Please go take the benefit of it. We at PrepLeaf are determined that we want to help you get a job. Please help us by helping yourself. Please go to our YouTube page and help yourself by watching these webinars and increasing your knowledge how you can go about through the placement process and ace it. Lastly, I would implore you, I would plead you to please like, share and subscribe. We put a lot of effort in our videos, and it's just for the one purpose, to help you succeed. And it's very heartening to see you guys get jobs. I would love to see your answers in the comment section. I will critique them myself. I will correct them myself. I will give reply to every question that you post, every answer that you post in the comment section. Thank you for being there. Thank you.